Hello peoples, welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Dungeon Progression Challenge. Today I'm going to start off with Gundrak. Now before I jump into the portal here, by the way I'm in the northeastern part of, what is this place called? Zuldrak. Before I head in the portal, you should know that you can also enter the dungeon through this side. But I'm just going to do the run starting from here, which is where you will usually end up from the dungeon finder or in time walking dungeons. And this is the way people usually went back during Wrath of the Lich King. The only difference is the order of which you'll clear the bosses. So I'm here, I gotta clear this one, 2, 3, and 4. And so if I took the other entrance, I would start on this side and go 1, 2, 3, and then back to the middle and 4. Okay, so you run in, jump down to the bottom. Sometimes you'll land on the ground and take fall damage. That kind of sucks. Sometimes not, if you got good aim. And the trash doesn't look to be much trouble. There are 3 groups of 3 snakes, 9 in all. Nothing too bad to deal with at this level, but at low level you might want to be a bit careful. Just be mindful of what everyone's doing. Healer, be mindful of the tank. Tank, be mindful of healer's capabilities, where they are, things like that. Oh yeah, each time you kill a boss, you have to right click on the altar so that the statues hanging from the ceiling in the room, in the central room, fall down onto this central rotating platform. And when they've all fallen down, you are granted access to the final boss. So first boss I just killed, Sladran. He's got a poison nova. You want to step out of that, otherwise it leaves a really nasty ticking dot on everyone who's hit by it. Otherwise, I think it's probably best to stack on him, because the other thing he does is, well, apart from his poison bolt, I think it's poison bolts, venom bolt, powerful bite. I guess that's something for the tank to watch out for. Yeah. And the healer, is he calls for snakes from, I guess, this room. How they missed me. And they attack players over time, and I think they inflict a debuff on them each time that player is hit by them. I'm not sure if they follow threat rules. But anyways, if that stacks too high, that player becomes wrapped in a snake cocoon type of thing. Can I use this? I can, but what I mean is it an upgrade? Lose crit, lose strength, lose socket. Nope. I won't even take it to sell. Alright, next boss is the Drakari Colossus. Oh yeah, Sladran, the snake cocoon. Just make sure you break out players who are caught in that, and you should be good. The Colossus is interesting. You'll see that the little mojo elementals were surrounding it, and they've entered the Colossus, causing it to animate. So what happens is, when you reduce it below half health, he spits out the mojo elemental, then that starts attacking you. He spits out little bolts of mojo, and sometimes, I think only on heroic, it leaves puddles on the ground. Yeah, I'm not seeing any here on regular difficulty. And the same with this. Once it is brought below 50% health, it merges once again with the Colossus. And I'm not sure, but I think threat resets at that time. But in any case, the tank should be wary of the mob's health, and just be ready to pick it up when that happens. About halfway through now. Now there is a optional boss that people don't even run. Oh yeah, and this is one of the dungeons included in Wrath Timewalker dungeons. Now most groups, they will usually just jump into the water and swim all the way across over to here, instead of taking the long way around, clearing through a bunch of trolls. Just so you know, I guess this was the intended path, and this really wasn't, but this doesn't seem that too dangerous or inhibiting. Anyways, it's not that much difficult to get through here, even if you choose to do so. I'm not sure if they really wanted to deter players from taking this route. It's only like 2 or 3 piranhas, and they don't deal that much damage. Most players can make it through solo. Alright. Oh yeah, sometimes this Earthshaker will patrol by. Just be careful if you're the tank and some people are still trying to swim across. they could make it here at the same time as the Earth Shaker and pull it into the room with you, or the healer could pull healing aggro and get himself and maybe everyone else killed. Give me that. The optional boss appears right behind this door once you defeat Murabi. Oh yeah, and up here is where you would enter the dungeon. Out of my way, guys, I'm doing things. Is where you would enter if you had taken the other entrance. And no upgrades. And I'm pretty sure that on regular difficulty, the optional boss gate does not open after defeating Murabi. Murabi has a unique ability, a transform, that can be interrupted. And depending on how low his health is, well, it's not really depending, or whatever it does. So the lower his health is, the faster he casts it. And there's an achievement to defeat him without allowing him to successfully cast it. Alright, so here is the last altar activated. That will drop the, I guess, mammoth statue down. So that will rotate and allow you access through this stairway. And the trash will come out to greet you. And anyways, usually groups like to swim across the water. Maybe you were meant to backtrack and go up the stairs. I don't know. Maybe you can also jump out on this side if you start at this entrance. Maybe. Okay, so I'm going up this way. Murabi also has a, I guess, group-wide stun for like 3 seconds. I'm not sure if that's timed in a way that if you're hit by it, there's a chance he could cast his transform and you would totally miss it. Anyways, not much trash to go. Just 3 pairs of Drakari, Rhino, and Battle Rider. Now, one thing I've seen healers do, now this is actually good info because people still run this place in time walking dungeons. The Rhino has a close range AoE silence, so if you're a healer or a caster, please don't stand next to it. Probably maybe back here is good, or at this range, that might be acceptable or good enough. And also, once you aggro these guys, the Rhino charges right for you. That's a lot of fun, and you're knocked back a bit, so if you're a tank, maybe position yourself so that you're against the wall here, then pull it, so if it knocks you back, you only go like this far. Bye-bye. Still waiting for upgrades. Now, like I said last episode, maybe there's a ring that can drop in here. That's good for me. Does it drop from Galdara? I forget. No, he drops this attack power amulet. I don't think it's much of an upgrade for me because I think strength gives more attack power than just straight attack power. Oh well, next dungeon maybe. Let's see. If you're familiar with time walking and Galdara, you will know, and probably don't know, that melee like to stand in the whirlwind that stacks a bleed debuff, and as a healer, when I play healer in those groups, I get really annoyed and just pretty much let you die. Oh look, he's doing the whirlwind that stacks a bleed, it's hard to miss. How could you miss it? And then the tank has 6 stacks and just has to be spam healed. And if there's 1 or 2 melee in the group, they're pretty much out of luck or dead, unless you have a oh crap button. Anyways, after a while he transforms into a Rhino. He'll knock away players, charge other players, and they will be unable to act during that time. The healer may have to focus healing a bit on them, because they'll be taking a bit of damage during the impale. And during the troll phase, he'll also call out for, I guess, a Rhino spirit to charge a player and just knock them back. I think this was the ring I was after last time. Wait a minute. Oh, alright, I had the filter set to arms, that's why I couldn't see it. There we go. So, alright then. Okay. I want to speed through this video, and I will check if this is an upgrade off camera between travel to the next place, Halls of Stone. So let's head on over there. You can quickly exit through the back room here and turn in your quests. Welcome to Ulduar. There's the raid, there's Halls of Lightning, and here is Halls of Stone, to where we are headed right now. There's a lot of dungeons around here and lore associated with this place. I really like the raid, to be honest. And Wrath of the Lich King is actually my first full expansion that I played through. I started playing late Burning Crusade. Okay, Halls of Stone. Not much to it. Bunch of short pathways leading to each of the bosses, and yeah, 2 of them are actually optional. That kind of bugs me because, I mean, why have, what is it? Bugs me because there are lots of bosses and they have loot and like little bonus things like, I mean, at the time it was justice points, I think. Upgrade? Maybe for Band of Ranger General. Speaking of upgrades, that Ring of Galdara was not an upgrade. Galdara's Signet. Signet? Right, so just make sure these, well, the bunch of casters, you've seen them before. You can go anyway in this fork. Back when it was current, people usually go right first. Bunch of Iron Dwarves, Rune Shaper. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I had to reset my sound down to 30%, because sometimes it's hard to speak over it. There we go. I knew I forgot something. So there's a lot of little crystalline shardlings. You can take them out easy. They're not even elites. They've got 5,000 health as opposed to the 21,000 of the actual elites. Oh, one of these here. Not this one. This one. Dark Rune Controller. As his name suggests, he will mind control a player if he's left up too long. But with things how they are today, everything dies pretty fast. I guess if he were stuck in the back left to free cast, but I don't think he even does that because he's just walking right up to me and trying to melee. Okay, I have to kill everybody and I wasted my... what is it? Shockwave, no other cooldowns. There we go. No upgrades. Plenty of Relic of Ulduar. Oh, if you want a new toy, is this an upgrade? Nope. If you want a new toy, pick up 10 of these. Or maybe 11, I'm not sure. And one of the NPCs at the Frostholds will collect those and actually let you buy one. Crystallis, he's got, I guess, really only one thing to watch out for. It's an ability similar to Gruul. Shatter and Petrify. Ground Slam, Shatter, yeah. Ground Slam will turn you into stone after, I think, 5 seconds. And once you've turned to stone, you'll cast Shatter, causing every player to deal damage to other players next to them. So being spread out after the Ground Slam is actually kind of helpful. Oh yeah, and also in this fork, be careful you don't stand here and let these guys free cast. Because once these groups patrol around and close enough to this group who are actually aggroed, they will aggro as well. Or maybe if you send in a pet or melee player, then you have all kinds of stuff going on. Unless you're doing this kind of run and you want to pull everything at once. Giants aren't too much to worry about, even though they look pretty dangerous. Come here, you. Pull them over here. Just gonna wait for everybody to come around the corner so I can take them out all at once. Come on. There's nothing to hit. There's no line of sight here. Next boss is Maiden of Grief. You may recognize her as a distant cousin of Maiden of Virtue and Karazhan. She puts little void zones on the floor. What is it actually called? It's not that. Maybe? Storm of Grief. Yeah, I think so. There it is. Oh no, don't stand in the bad stuff, but actually you do want to stand in it when she casts Sorrow? Shock of Sorrow. Shock of Sorrow is a group-wide stun for how long? Like 5 seconds? 6 seconds. Ouch. So just before the axe goes off, okay, watch this. Step in now. Incapacitated. There we go. I took a tick of damage and then it fell off. And since I was actually on the edge of the, what's this called again? Pillar of Woe? No. Storm of Grief. Sorry, getting my names mixed up. Since I was on the edge of this when Shock of Sorrow wore off, I didn't have to spend much more time in it after that. So take damage, it's gone, step out. Good game. Nope, no upgrade. I'm not interested in agility. Actually, can I even get any upgrades in here? Warrior, nothing from the Tribunal encounter. This? Nope. What about next dungeon, which is... I'm gonna run Utgard Pinnacle and... Culling of Strathholm. I'm not sure which order it is, I forget. Whoops. Well, the 4 dungeons I'm gonna run are... Culling of Strathholm, Oculus, Utgard Pinnacle, and Halls of Lightning. Surely one of those has an upgrade for me. These two, I think they pull independently. Meaning not together. Yeah, so maybe you can hug a wall if you're going through this at the level it was intended. If you're leveling a character at 77-ish, that around there. So the next encounter actually starts in here. First you want to clear the trash, the room of all these constructs. Then you want to speak to Bran Bronzebeard, who at the time would really like to take sweet time making his way to... Oh, come on, sure. Yeah, and I guess if you bring the trash close enough, he will become uninteractable and fight them himself. Anyways, back in Wrath, he would actually do this. That's right, walk all the way to the encounter room. And you'd have to wait for him for like, I don't know, in a literal sense, maybe 2 whole minutes. Sometimes one of these constructs would patrol a bit too close to this side and he would engage all 3 of them. Oh, and watch out when the constructs get empowered by, I guess, whatever's in the center here. It's quite a boost. With a 200% increase to damage, that means it hits 3 times as hard. And 50% increase to attack speed. Ouch. Big ouch. So once Bran finally gets here, speak to him to start the encounter. I may just speed this up, but I will just quickly explain it before I do. So he's trying to access all kinds of information in the archives of the Halls of Stone for... Well, you know, he's Bran Bronzebeard. That's what he does. And all the while, Iron Dwarves are going to come out and try to stop you. And as this goes on, it gets a little... like, I want to say harder, but it's meant to get a little harder. A little thing is added each time. First time you got just groups of dwarves coming out. I think one cast. No? Alright. Second stage, you get a slow-moving projectile from one of these statues that if anyone's hit by it, anyone in the area is also slowed and takes magic damage. And... yeah, I think one caster comes along. Yeah. Okay, so the first stage you get 3, second stage you get 3 plus. Sometimes you get a group of 2. And the last stage you get like I-beams that are focused on a single location, just don't stand in that, as well as a large construct. Okay, now let's just skip ahead to the end of this and carry on. And once you've had enough of this, and Bron says, the old magic fingers finally won through, the encounter is pretty much over. So Bron just takes a couple seconds to stop it from actually erasing the data or whatever. Anyways, at that point you can just head over to the loot chest, wait for yourself to exit out of combat, and get your loot. Alright, so Bran actually kind of interviews and questions the archives for a bunch of Iron Dwarf history and Earthen and stuff. It's very long, but if you just want to skip things along, just speak to him, select that little option there. Let's get moving, Bran. And you can tell him to mosey on over to the final boss room where Sjonir, the Iron Shaper, is located. So you just have to make your way back to the fork of the first room. Okay, so back here, groups usually go around this side, even though that side would have been cleared on your way in. But, you know, it's probably just as well because they patrol kind of close to this door that you want to go through. Bran Bronzebeard is over here chilling in stealth. Didn't realize he was a rogue. See ya. See you and you. Oh yeah, one of these guys summons a little air elemental. So once you're ready to move on, speak to Bran and you can face Yonir the Iron Shaper. This is Yonir? Yeah. Names. It's a fun fight as it goes on, because it gets a little more and more crazy. Biggest thing you want to watch out for is he'll channel a close range thunderstorm that stacks damage taken. So you can stand in that for a little bit, but if the longer you stand in it, you'll take more damage per tick, and it gets really crazy. So basically throughout the encounter, stuff is coming out through these forges, trogs, blobs, and towards the end, Bran manages to reconfigure it to summon Earthen to help you. That is pretty much it. And at this point, you defeated Shonir, and you can turn in your quests. Alright then, this has been episode 41 of Dungeon Progression Challenge. If you like this video, leave a like. And if you want to follow along with the series or anything else on my channel, you can subscribe as well. Next time, let me check real quick which dungeons I'm going to run. Halls of Lightning and Utgard Pinnacle. And after that, Oculus and Culling of Stratholme. That is, if it's not too long. Okay, till then, be well, stay well, and farewell.